This is with the new water pump installed. You can see the new water pump here. I also redid my gasket back here. You can see a little blue one. Now to do this installation, there'll be a screw that you're going to have to loosen up. You're going to need it, or I shouldn't say a screw, but these bolts. You're going to need to loosen this top bolt here. And if you look underneath, there's a bolt here you're going to need to loosen along with this bolt here. And then on the back side, you'll see it on the back side. There's one right down here on this back side, and you'll see that. You'll need to loosen that one as well. That's going to make this pulley move and release tension from that belt. Now after you do that, I removed this pulley here. Now I bypassed my AC unit. That's why I don't have that belt going there. Now you may want to remove these 4 bolts behind the water pump pulley before you take the belt off. That way it keeps it from moving, but I just had enough strength where I could hold it. And then you're going to use a pulley remover to pop this off. Once you do that, you'll see the 5 or so bolts you'll have to pull out of there. Now whenever you do remove this, you're going to need to remove the hose up here. There's like a metal or tubing that goes into the top of this water pump, and you'll see it. You're going to keep that metal tubing on there when you remove it. Just remove this hose here that goes into the thermostat housing, and then the one that goes into the metal tubing. And then once you get to the water pump, there's these 2 main bolts on the side here that are holding it. You're just going to slide that out. Now make sure you remove that old gasket from the block, because if you don't, it's not going to seat right. My suggestion would be go ahead and change out that thermostat as well, or put a new gasket on it. So hopefully the next few videos that I have will show you how to remove this and install the new water pump. Okay, what we're going to do today is we're going to replace the water pump, which is right back here behind this pulley, and we're going to replace the thermostat, which is going to be right behind this housing. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this air box, get it out of the way, and then back underneath here, this is where you release. There's a screw right underneath there, and this is where you release the tension on this belt. So we're going to release tension on this belt, and we're going to take that belt off, get in here and see if we can't start unbolt some stuff. Whenever you go to do this, just as a reminder, there's a tensioner bolt down here. There's also another piece on this side that I freed up, and then on the back side over here, you're going to need to loosen that. Now, my pulley wouldn't come off because this Jeep is over 20 years old. So I found this pulley remover, and I'm hoping it's going to pop that booger right off. We're going to find out here. Alright, this is with the pulley off of the water pump here. And then I just have my original one set up so I know which bolts to take off to kind of start with here. And again, I highly suggest, before you even start this project, make sure you get some pulley remover, because without that thing right there, this booger was not coming off. That thing was completely rusted onto that main shaft. Okay, so what I did, I took this water pump, put it in a vice grip, and just lightly, you're not going to be able to remove this until you take the complete water pump out. Now take the water pump out, come in here, and after I unbolted all the parts, I ended up disconnecting the hoses, so that way I could pull the whole thing completely out. It's going to tuck back behind this bracket here, and then we're just going to take and install the new water pump in the opposite direction as what we just did. Okay, so we went ahead and removed, there's 2 bolts for the thermostat housing. We took those off, and then we're going to pop this thermostat out of here. And then we're going to take the new thermostat, and it's just going to go right back in here, and we'll just reinstall it. Alright, so to put the new one in, simply set it in there. You're going to take your... The lady at AutoZone said that they didn't need a gasket, but they make a gasket for it, so make sure you get your gasket. So you're just going to put your gasket on right here, and then you're going to, let me grab some bolts. So put your gasket, get it all lined up, and just take your housing. I unhook anything. Okay, so set your new thermostat in here, and then you're going to take your gasket, and I'm going to put it on the housing here and thread my bolt through it. This is my second attempt. I didn't do too well on the first one. Make sure it comes all the way through. I'm just going to lightly get that started just to make sure that the other one on the bottom lines up. Then I'm going to put this second one in. Then it's in. We're going to tighten it down.